and welcome to this episode of Batavia Spotlight, where we get to know more about our community, organizations, and businesses here in Batavia. Also, we want to learn more about the businesses that are in our local communities. I'm Ellen Huxtable, your host. And so let's get started. So today, our first guest today is Ryan Misgate from, I call it Country Financial, but it might have other names to it. Can you tell us a little bit about what I call Country Financial?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Ellen. So back in 2002, we changed our name to Country Financial. We've been called Country Companies for the longest time, so a lot of people knew us as the insurance company. So we changed our name to Country Financial in 2002 because we wanted to let our clients and prospects know that we do more than just insurance. We do the full financial planning for retirement while we're incorporating the insurance as well.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what should people be thinking about when we're approaching retirement age, whether we're far away from it or a little bit closer to it. What should we be thinking about?
That's it's kind of unique that you say that. Basically, I try to dig deeper than what they should be thinking about because everybody's different. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's goal is different, and everybody's retirement dream is different. So that's what I try to do. At my agency, it's a little different. I try to dig deeper and see what's important to you and how do we get to that important aspect in your life. So the relationship is the biggest thing for me to understand. And then I tell people it's just the fundamentals. You can talk to 500 different people that do the same thing I do. But with me, I try to just focus on the fundamentals and be fundamentally sound because if you do that, I think that it's very easy to achieve your goals.
So now, when people are thinking, say, a little bit longer term, if somebody is in the early to mid part of their career, what kinds of things should they be thinking about doing? Certainly saving money is always a good idea. But beyond saving money, what other kinds of things should they be thinking about doing?
Protecting their family. If they have family and kids, that's what I'm seeing here in the community is a lot of families, a lot of kids. So protecting that family if something was to happen. Most times people don't really view us as the golden nugget and they're worried about other things before themselves. So I try to really, step out of the box when I'm speaking with whoever it may be and try to see, are you properly covered? Because you and I are both, I try to tell people, a machine that spits out money. If I'm working, I'm generating income for my family. And if that stops, how do I replace that? So it goes down to the insurance needs, all the way to the financial needs for the family. And that's what I try to really focus on.
So then there's the insurance and the financial planning really integrate with each other, that you need to think about both of those kinds of things at the same time.
Yeah, and that's what separates me from everybody else. I don't like to say competition because I really don't have too much competition. But when I say that is, you don't see a lot of people that do both. They don't incorporate both. They either do the financial planning or just the insurance. And that's, at Country Financial, we try to specialize in both of those areas because everybody needs both of those areas. And if I'm only focusing on one thing, it's kind of hard to get the total view of things. So down the road, we can actually live the dream and retire.
So let's talk a little bit more about retirement now. Probably at this time, unfortunately, because of what the economy's done, we have people that thought they were well prepared for retirement, but might not be as prepared as they hoped they would be, even if they've planned. What kinds of strategies should they be thinking about at this time?
So my main focus is people that are 10 years until retirement, whether that's 62, 65, or 55. And I try to really focus on the fundamentals, like I said earlier. And what I mean by that is minimize the downs, but also maximize the ups. Because if you spend your whole entire lifetime saving, we don't want that money to be diminished by having too much risk or not just reviewing things. That's where I see a lot of the issues and problems arise is people not reviewing things and realistically not having somebody to guide them to success.
So certainly as life goes on, our lifestyle might change and our needs might change and our balance might change between what we really need in our financial plan. So the financial plan from 10 years ago isn't what we need now.
Exactly. And I found that there's two types of people. And it's one type of person is very good at saving, and another person is really good at spending. So usually both of those people aren't the same person. So I really want to, hone in and make sure if you're saving, I want to make sure that we preserve that savings that you've been accumulating. And if you've been spending, I want to, kind of dig deeper, like I mentioned earlier, and see where you're spending at to try to, minimize the spending into saving. I just try to focus on the fundamentals, like I said earlier.
When somebody's looking for an agent to work with, and not everybody is going to probably be your customer, although I'm sure you'd like that, but if somebody's looking for an agent in general, from your perspective, what should they be looking for?
Yeah, when I tell people, really find somebody that really cares about you, because at the end of the day, I don't sell policies, all right? I try to build plans for people because at the end of the day, if something happens, I want to make sure that you say, oh, Ryan explained that to me. And it's really educating the client on this is what I have, because I speak with a lot of people day to day, and they have no idea what they have. So I really like to, I don't have to go into details, but I just try to really educate them on what they have, what they want, and how do we get there. And that's where I really try to really focus at. But when you want to choose, to answer your question, find somebody that really cares about you and wants to sit down with you and get to know you.
So then, what that seems to lead to then is to interview people, to sit down with several people and talk with them and find out more about them and how they might be able to best represent you and support you.
Yeah, exactly. And I have clients in different states as well. With technology these days, we can FaceTime, we can Skype. So I can really get the one-on-one interaction without even going to your house. But I really like to see people in person. I've drove to other states. I flew to other states to see my clients. So it's really about, taking the time out and getting to know your client to make sure that, what you're doing for them is proper.
Other than working with an agent like yourself, what are some of the things that people should be thinking about? Certainly saving, but and their insurance. What are some of the things that are the biggest errors you've seen people make?
Not having a professional review everything. What I do and what a plumber does, I can't do what a plumber does, so I have to call a plumber, right? So they really need to work with a professional that knows, the ins and outs of things and really, knows what they're doing, trying to say for lack of better words.
So in other words, it's like everything else. The world has gotten a lot more complex now, and there's certainly financial instruments out there that weren't there before. So we really need the kind of help that a professional could provide to us. Yeah,
the biggest concern today for people is, am I going to run out of money? Am I going to have enough money to retire? So there's a lot of different strategies to make sure that, if you're 1 year in retirement and, let's just say the market dips 30%, well, now you just lost 30% of your money. So there's a lot of different strategies and products out there to preserve that wealth, to make sure that it has a guaranteed income. My father always tells me every day he goes in a mailbox and gets his check from his pension, and he said there's no better feeling than knowing that the rest of my life I always have a check there. And when it's time to go, my wife will have the check as well. So that hits home for people like that. So that's the number one thing I try to get people to understand is having a guaranteed paycheck is very important.
Right. How can people get in touch with you?
They can. I'm located at Oak and Randall, 1161 Oak Street, right next to Sushi Pirate. And I do a lot of Facebook. I'm on social media all over the place, so you can look me up on Facebook, Ryan Misgate at Country Financial, and it'll pop up for sure. Or you can just Google me. I'm all over Google. So email, call, text, smoke signal, however you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me.
For the old-fashioned people, phone number.
Yes, my number is 630-907-9485, and that's my office, and I have 2 personal assistants, so we're always there, no matter what for you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Ryan. We really appreciate your insights and your suggestions, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Ellen. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And now we'll take a brief time out to hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be right back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Tom Wangler, president of Confident Air. Regular maintenance can prolong the life of your furnace and keep your energy costs to a minimum. Plus, there's less of a chance of a breakdown on a cold winter night. Your furnace needs proper care and attention to keep it running smoothly, so you don't end up paying too much for heating during the cold winter months, or worse yet, with deadly carbon monoxide poisoning. We recommend an annual inspection to ensure safe operation. Confident Air, your trusted home comfort professionals since 1992.
The Drendel and Jansen's Law Group has practiced law in Aurora since 1961 and in Batavia since 1994.
We focus our energy on representing people and businesses and families in the local community. We represent clients in Kane and surrounding counties in matters ranging from divorce to wills, business law to zoning.
We focus our efforts on planning and working towards positive resolutions for businesses and families.
When clients need someone to fight for their interests, we're ready, willing, and able to act as aggressive advocates to protect their interests.
Trendle and Jansen's Law Group with offices in Batavia and Aurora and located on the web at batavialaw.com.
The Kane County Chronicle is your best source for news and information in print and online in the Tri-Cities and Caneland.
This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
Downtown Batavia, always moving by nature. Recreation, nature, the arts, specialty shops, restaurants and services. Downtown is everyone's neighborhood. Come, celebrate, meet friends, unwind.
See you downtown.
Our next guest is Bob Beatty-Barr, who is here to represent the Batavia music buffs. So Bob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Ellen.
So I know a little bit about the buffs, but you know a lot more. So tell us about what the buffs are and do.
So great point that you bring up the Buffs name several times. That's probably one of our largest hurdles, in my opinion. We are a music booster organization. So what we do is we help fill the gap between what the district can fund for all the music programs in Batavia schools and what they need. So unfortunately, there is a significant gap there. So what we do is, much like the Athletic Booster Program and much like the Performing Arts Booster Program, we fundraise year-round to try to fill in those gaps for all of our different organizations.
So what are some of the programs that you support or you help support?
Great question. One of the big ones that most people will know of is the marching band, because they hit the field all the same times that the football team does, but they also perform throughout an entire season in the fall. Some of the lesser known groups, we also support the Winter Guard, which is an indoor performing group, and show choir. And we also support orchestras, and we support choirs at the elementary level, the middle school level. So any musical performing art from 5th grade on up.
So now for the high school age people, I can see what the needs are for the costuming, for the travel, etc. For the elementary school and the middle schools, what are some of the programs that are supported? How is that support used?
So interestingly, most of the focus is on the older kids because they're outperforming in the community on a more steady basis. The elementary schools and the middle school right now, they're a challenge for us from a booster perspective, because not only do they get some of the lowest amount of funds from us as the booster organization, but they actually get some of the lowest amount of funds from the district level too. And in a community like ours that's growing with great education, great athletics, and great performing arts, the younger students are actually probably one of the most important areas to fund, because they're starting to introduce performing show choirs at the middle school and 5th grade levels. So every year at the elementary level, there's a district-wide musical that's put on where the in-classroom instructors will write the musical, collect the music, do the choreography.
Oh my gosh.
And they put that on for the community at the elementary level, and there's funding needs there. And so those groups come to us as a booster organization and say, we would actually need a little bit of extra funding to make this musical possible every year. At the middle school level, we have, I believe, 2 performing show choirs now. And I mean, the music program in general in Batavia schools is just growing leaps and bounds. Every year we're adding students at every level, it seems. So our need is growing and the groups are growing, so that puts a lot of pressure on us, the booster organization, as a 100% volunteer group.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's 100% parent volunteers. You'll always see us out in the community asking for money, but really the most important aspect of our organization is the volunteerism. Without that volunteerism, we really can't effectively raise funds. So even if you can't give money to help the programs, your time is probably even more valuable to us.
So you don't have to be a parent, though, correct, of a current student in order to be a booster?
To be a booster, no. We have community level, so we have
You can be a member of our booster organization as an alumni, as a parent, and just as a community member. And those are the community members of our organization are the most important, because that really lets us know that we're serving the community and that they're acknowledging that back to us. I mean, the kids really are the most important part, because a lot of these kids will stay in Batavia, and a handful of them will become the new educators, and the handful of them will, be involved in the community band and things like that. So music is such an important part of not only their education, but I believe is the community as well. So when we do get community members in our organization and community volunteers, it's just always a great thing.
So this is something that's available then for anybody in the community who has an interest in music or in education or in the students.
Yeah, so one of our largest challenges is communications, because we are hyper-focused on the students and the educators and helping them bring all their dreams to reality. We oftentimes forget to reach out as often as we should, and one of the reasons why I'm here today is to start to get that word out a little more into the community, so they realize that there is a large community effort to give all the children in our community, whether it be sports, music, or the arts, the things that they need to be more successful in their endeavors.
Well, and I think that certainly we're a big football community, which is why the marching band gets a lot of visibility. But there are a lot of kids for whom athletics isn't their thing, and sometimes academics aren't their thing. And so this gives a place people can be successful.
Yeah. One of the things I always talk about in marching band, because marching band has a camp that they start in the middle of the summer, and they're on the field 8 hours a day for 3 solid weeks, and then school starts. And it's a great opportunity for the young students that are coming into marching band for the first time. They get immersed into a community that carries into when the school year starts. So oftentimes they say the freshmen have 100 friends before they even hit the school doors that very first day. So yes, there's the music, there's the education, but there's also that in-school community aspect of it too, where lifelong friendships are being forged. And it just like athletics, just like the arts. I mean, it's all part and parcel, and it's just part of community building. It's just so much more than the fundraising for music activities.
So how did you end up getting so involved in this?
I have 3 children. They're all involved in the music program in one way, shape, or form. My oldest is at Elmhurst, becoming a music education. He's a music education major, and his dream is to come back to Batavia and teach music. I don't know how that's going to work out with our young music directors currently there, but it's a goal to set anyway.
Absolutely.
And in addition, I'm actually a huge Batavia football fan and was exposed to the marching band long before any of my children were in it. And it just kind of seemed to go hand in hand for me from a community aspect. And I found myself volunteering at marching band activities and football activities. And then all of a sudden I was kind of gravitated toward the music volunteerism aspect of it. And now I'm just finished my first term on the board, and then I'm starting my second term as their communications director starting in August.
Wonderful. So if people want to communicate with you as the communications director or as a board member, how do they get in touch with you to learn more, or to say, I want to volunteer, or to give time or money or insight, whatever they might want to give? How do they get in touch with you?
So our main communication vehicle is our website. It's bataviamusicbuffs.org.
Okay.
And from that homepage, you can one-click to become a volunteer, you can one-click to become a member, and there's a link to the calendar that has all the music events throughout the calendar year. And that's really our one-stop shop for communications right now. We try to get out in the community with the farmers market. We try to make appearances there. You'll see us throughout the community all the time because we're always fundraising. And part of that fundraising effort for us is to build volunteerism at the same time.
So if they see any of you in passing, to grab you, stop you, and say, I want to help, I want to volunteer, I want to donate, right?
Yes. So we're a 7-member board, so there's not tons of us that are out in the community, but take an opportunity to take in a music activity at the BFAC at any time. You're going to see us out having a booth table to, sell memberships, provide information to the community. One of the big things we have coming up is our mattress sale, which is a very bizarre fundraiser, but it's bizarrely effective. And it's another one of those things where it brings people in from all over the community for a very interesting way to help support music in Batavia.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Bob. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ellen. It's great.
Great. And now we'll take a brief time out to hear from some of our sponsors. We will be right back.
The Kane County Chronicle is your best source for news and information in print and online in the Tri-Cities and Caneland.
This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country. This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
This is Chronicle Country.
Downtown Batavia, always moving by nature. Recreation. Nature. The arts. Specialty shops. Restaurants and services. Downtown is everyone's neighborhood. Come, celebrate. Meet friends. Unwind.
See you downtown.
Hi, I'm Tom Wangler, President of Confident Air. Regular maintenance can prolong the life of your furnace and keep your energy costs to a minimum. Plus, there's less of a chance of a breakdown on a cold winter night. Your furnace needs proper care and attention to keep it running smoothly, so you don't end up paying too much for heating during the cold winter months, or worse yet, with deadly carbon monoxide poisoning. We recommend an annual inspection to ensure safe operation. Confident Air, your trusted home comfort professionals since 1992.
The Drendel and Jansen's Law Group has practiced law in Aurora since 1961 and in Batavia since 1994.
We focus our energy on representing people and businesses and families in the local community.
We represent clients in Kane and surrounding counties in matters ranging from divorce to wills, business law to zoning.
We focus our efforts on planning and working towards positive resolutions for businesses and families.
When clients need someone to fight for their interests, we're ready, willing, and able to act as aggressive advocates to protect their interests.
Drendel and Jansen's Law Group with offices in Batavia and Aurora and located on the web at batavialaw.com.
Our next guest is Karen Hollis, who is from K. Hollis Jewelers, but also is a sponsor and the hostess and whatever else you might want to say for 100 plus women who care. So thank you for joining us for this, Karen. Tell us about this.
Thank you. The 100 plus women who care started back in 2006 with a mother in Jackson, Michigan. And her idea came to her through how could we raise money for certain things efficiently. And so her idea was to have 100 women that could donate $100 4 times a year. You meet for an hour, you come with a charity that you're really excited about. All the charities go into a bowl. 3 charities get picked, and those 3 charities get to pitch their spiel to the 100 women. That group votes within that half hour, and the winner of the votes receives $10,000 in 1 hour. No fundraisers, no fancy dresses, no fancy dinners, no silent auctions. In 1 hour, a charity leaves with $10,000.
So you see, we pulled out 3 names from the hat.
Everybody comes with a charity. So you're passionate about something. We have several people who are passionate about the same thing. So they all pool together, and it's been truly magical to be a part of this.
So how long have you been involved with this? When did you start this?
We just started it this year, so this will be, July 11th will be our 4th meeting, so we will have completed a full year doing this. There are other 100 plus women who care in the community, like Geneva has one, I think Oswego has one, and they're full. But there wasn't something that encompassed the whole Fox Valley, so we decided to do Aurora, Batavia, Elburn, Elgin. We have people from Elgin. I have 2 people from Lombard. I have a couple people from Yorkville that are a part of that. North Aurora. And it's been just, people are coming, they're hearing about it, they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And it's been, what's fun about being the host of that is I get to sit around and meet people and hear about other charities that I didn't even know existed, and they need help. So you get a bunch of women that have time and can help each other, working with each other and partnering up and helping after the fact, and that's where the magic happens. I think it's really neat when you can get a powerful group of ladies together and then they start brainstorming, and then everybody wants to help everybody, and everyone benefits from that.
So how did you hear about this? How did you get involved in this?
Two other women helped me with this, Theone and Leanne, and we came together, and since our store has expanded and we have the wine bar and we host a lot of events, she thought it would be perfect to host the events there. We can fit 100 people easily. We have tables. The wine bar's open, so people come early, and they're meeting new friends, and it just kind of happened. I was really lucky to be a part of it.
So what is the typical participant in your group? How could you profile the people, or is this a wide range of people?
It is such a wide range of people. I have a lot of people who work at Mutual Ground, people who work at the Interfaith Food Pantries that are a part of this. All of their friends are a part of that, bringing their name into it. We had a group called Simply Destiny that won 2 times ago that were almost to the point of closing down. And her daughter, how that happened, her daughter committed suicide. She started an anti-bullying group that turned into a dance group so they could express themselves. The uncle got involved, and that group grew so big that they couldn't fund it themselves. And so they've reached out to the community in Aurora and have gotten help. They were about 2 months from shutting their doors. Their name got picked. Everyone voted on them to win. We show up with all this money, and we were able to keep them in business. And that's what it was all about. That took off to the mayor of Aurora seeing them and hearing about their story. That took off into other non-for-profits wanting to be a part of that. That took off into food people that are donating water bottles and things to that community. So just getting the word out and being a spokesperson to try to help other people who want to be a part of something and don't know where to go, this has been such a great avenue for that.
So it's not just a fundraising effort, it's actually a networking effort between people who are like-minded and who want to do something to help the communities.
Right. And they do have to be a non-for-profit agency. We're very particular, and it has to be in this area. It can't be in Michigan or in Wisconsin because everyone has theirs. So it has to be within the Fox Valley area. I just got a Facebook thing that said, "Do you help pets?" That's a non-for-profit, absolutely. So people are kind of seeking it out now and hearing about it. Since this group is so new, I'm expected to get to our 100 women. I think we had 78 the last time that we met. So being able to show up with $7,800. Our last recipient was Rise from the Ashes that helped battered women in relationships. So who wouldn't want to be a part of that? I mean, it was such... I get the pleasure of taking the check there and being a part of the tears and the hugs and the love that is expressed through that. So
do the winners know about this in advance? They probably don't, do they?
Well, someone from that non-for-profit is there because they've pitched their name. So a lot of the times it might not be the head person. It could be a marketing person. It could be someone that works for them that really wants to support them. And it's all about how you pitch it. I mean, you have a group of 100 women that are so excited to be a part of something big, and everyone that's pitching a story is so passionate about what they do that it gets really hard. So there's been some close races.
So how many pitches do you have at your meetings then?
There's only 3. We only pick 3 people. So between those 3. So those 3 names cannot get picked for another year.
Okay, so you have 3 people pitching, and then are the people that are putting the names in the hat only limited to those 3 people? So it's sort of like a vote in its own strange way.
Well, you have a lot of power. Yep, your
absolutely.
$100 goes to picking that person, and you can be a part of being there when we present it. You get, your name's on there. Your check goes directly to them.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how you did that part.
Yeah, and actually, since we're doing it at the store, our tip jar, we decided to pick the second runner-up from the 100-plus women, so all the tips go to that second-place person.
Oh, that's good.
And last year, the last time we did it, I think the Interfaith Food Pantry got $560.
Wow. That's very
So-
generous from the tip jar. It's very generous.
Yeah,
of the
we
staff.
don't need the tips. That's been fun to be, the hard part is picking who gets the tips.
Yeah.
But people have been very generous with that.
So now, if people want to learn more about this or participate in it, how do they do that?
Please go to the Facebook page. Our group is called 100 Plus Women Who Care Fox Valley of Kane County. You can take a picture of this. We have the little tree. Again, come and be a part of something bigger than you.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us and telling us about this. It's going to be a service to the community, so I appreciate
July 11th.
July 11th, isn't that
6:30 at K. Hollis Jewelers.
Excellent, and there'll be other ones coming up throughout the year.
Yep.
Thank you again, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in to Batavia Spotlight. Remember, you can watch us on Comcast Channel 17, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, or on our website, www.mybatv.com. I'm your host, Ellen Huxtable, and we'll see you again next time. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at 630-937-5413 or email us at info@mybatv.com. Have a great day.